gameranx presents another episode of Before You Buy, the show where we give you some raw, straight-up gameplay and some first impressions of the latest games releasing. This time around, we're talking about Hitman, the first episode of the first season in this episodic Hitman game. And I think right out of the gate, that's what we need to talk about. We need to talk about the way this game is being distributed and how it affects the overall game here. So the deal is, in American prices, you can either buy the game outright for $60 or pay $15 just to get this opening pack. This first quote-unquote episode gives you like an intro to the game and tutorial missions, as well as the first big area, Paris. So if you want to try this out for 15 bucks, every other episode or map is 10 bucks after that. Do I agree with this distribution? Not quite. Am I offended by it? No, not really. Episodic is fine. It can get by on that if the game can stand on its own. And that's the real question here. Can it? I am not sure. The thing is, the core bones here, the actual systems in place, the Hitman game, the crux of the gameplay here is actually really good. It goes more back to a classic style of Blood Money, away from the weird stuff that it did in Absolution. Absolution was good, but it basically takes some of the stuff that really worked in Absolution and slaps it back into a Blood Money style of gameplay. And if it sounds like I'm speaking another language, honestly, I think that's maybe where you should stop. I don't think I could recommend this to anybody who isn't a Hitman fan, because the distribution model is just so weird. I would recommend people who haven't played a Hitman game to just wait once all the episodes are released and you can get this game as an actual full disc game, which isn't gonna even be until 2017 now. That's maybe when you should jump in now. Of course, a counterpoint argument to that is that this $15 intro pack is kind of like a try before you buy and commit to purchasing the entire game. I get what they're going for here, but I don't know, it just seems like people aren't into it, and I don't know if I am either. I really think that the only people that should be trying this and giving this model a shot are die-hard Hitman fans, because ultimately the gameplay is pretty decent. The map here is absolutely huge, and it's pretty overwhelming the amount of different approaches you can take, the way you can kill your targets, and the way you can infiltrate, and just the way you can do everything. It's completely up to you, and IO Interactive seems like it's really doubling down on this whole sandbox thing, because that's basically all you get here. You get this big map and this story mission, and that's all well and good. There's a bunch of challenges and different ways to approach it and complete it and unlock stuff and just win and try and do better each time and replay it over and over again. And that's great, but for a lot of less hardcore players, that's really all you get. The other add-on stuff that you get other than this is really just kind of separate fluff stuff. There's contracts mode, which lets you go in and kind of essentially create your own kill and then upload it and challenge other players to complete it. You can play other people's maps. That's a good way to pass the time. There's also scenarios created by the publisher that are uploaded all the time called Escalation that makes things more challenging, more difficulties, and just the basic idea that the developers are going to be supporting this all the time by uploading new challenges to this map, as well as new random daily updated hits that you can take out on people. So there are more nuanced reasons to jump into this map and play over and over again, but for the average player, I don't know if it's going to be enough for you. But besides that though, how does the game play? It's great. It's just good old-fashioned Hitman fun. There's so many different approaches. It is very open-ended. It's almost a little too much. And for the hardcore players, there's these new things now called opportunities where you can track them on your map, and it's kind of like you just follow a waypoint to get things done. You can turn that off, thankfully, because I'm a purist player. I don't want to deal with that shit. I want to kind of figure it out myself, because that's where the fun really is to be had in these games. And it actually looks pretty gorgeous. Videos and screenshots don't really do it justice, but it's running really well on PS4. I only got to check it out a little bit on PC, and it runs decent. The frame rate chugs a little bit, but since we are talking about performance, the load times are really, really bad here. Thankfully, this Hitman does bring back the ability to save anywhere you want and load if you screw up or get caught or die or whatever, but the problem is that the load times are so long. Not only that, but all the menus and bringing up the map or inventory, it's all laggy. It all just takes a while. It's just very slow and clunky. And that's a little bit of a turnoff here. That stuff needs to be worked out, especially if you're paying 15 bucks to just get a small slice of a game. That slice of the game better be pretty damn fine-tuned. But I was surprised to actually find little bits of story here. There is a story to kind of string things along. It seems pretty loose, it seems pretty goofy, but it's well told, and I kind of like the prologue setup stuff about 47 and where that goes with Diana. I do want to keep playing and see where that goes out of curiosity, because I like the characters and the world. But the real problem is that I have to wait a month to play the next released map level mission, Sapienza. And I think that's kind of what kills it for me. Like, it just seems like there's something missing with this Hitman game, just something in the gameplay just doesn't feel the way I want it to, and then the distribution itself too doesn't feel the way I want it to, because it's not going to be a collective, cohesive game. You know, with these Hitman games, you know, the whole sandbox and replaying a level over and over again, that's great, and I do want to do that. after I complete the game. I don't want to play one mission over and over and over again. I want to go back and replay all the missions over again. You know what I mean? So that's really the ultimate turnoff for me here. So can I recommend this Hitman 2016 game to everyone? No. I can recommend it to fans of the series to maybe check out the $15 intro pack. I don't recommend maybe doubling down $60 and buying the whole game yet because we haven't seen enough here. We don't know if the story's going to be any good. We don't know, maybe the other maps are going to be better, maybe the game's going to feel better, maybe it's going to feel worse. We have no idea. Other than that, any other type of player, I can recommend just waiting until the game is finally released. But hardcore fans, maybe give it a try because it is cool and there are some cool moments to be had here. It's a decent Hitman game. Keyword decent. But guys, that's the thing here. I really want to hear what you guys think about this one because I've been playing this one by myself without any input of the community. I want to know how you guys are feeling this. Because honestly, the model isn't as offensive as I thought, but I think it just hurts the overall design of the game. You know what I mean? But I want to see if you guys agree. So let's talk down in the comments. I'll be down there. I'll also be on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you guys want. You want to talk about games, just hit me up over there. But you guys know the drill. Clicking the like button helps us out so much with these videos, and we appreciate you guys watching every single one, I swear. But if you are new, subscribing is a good idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.